Get dunked on. I'm kidding. No one says that anymore. Plus, I'm close to 40. I don't think 40, almost 40-year-olds should be saying get dunked on. But either way, Assassin's Creed Shadows, we haven't talked about that in like what, 2 months? Just crossed an embarrassing line. Is it? Probably not. But, you know, Assassin's Creed Shadows flopped so hard that it just lost to a 7-year-old game. Ubisoft's DEI disaster now in full view. Just like my wee wee. I'm talking about the disaster. My wee wee. It's official. Assassin's Creed Shadows is a flop of epic proportions. Not that anyone who's been paying attention is really that surprised. Ubisoft declared, self-declared, yeah, the quadruple A games are now pulling fewer concurrent players than their older ones. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, their older ones. Okay, so fewer the concurrent players than their older one, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. You may recall the particular title was released all the way back in 2018. According to Steam charts data, Shadows peaked at just about 7,600 players over the May 10th, 2025 weekend, while Odyssey hit 7,800 in the same 24-hour window. I mean, it's really not that much difference, but let that sink in for a minute. Brand new, heavily marketed blockbuster franchise entry with a Hollywood budget rumored to have reached potentially upwards of $800 million or more is now being outplayed by their very own 7-year-old predecessor. This isn't just embarrassing, it's Ubisoft hitting rock bottom, and they don't know the language. They're just, thank you. You're welcome. While we all saw this day coming eventually, even I'm shocked at just how fast this happened. I'm shocked. I tell you. Okay, well maybe I'm not that shocked. One of the biggest reasons for this catastrophic failure was also reckless obsession with DEI over quality storytelling. The same issues that were causing rifts leading up to the launch in the first place. Shadows chose to sideline an actual Japanese historical authenticity by centering the narrative around Yasuke, a real historical figure, but honestly, an odd choice to be as the main face of a game set in feudal Japan. Yeah, if the rumors are true, the main character was at once just a traditional Japanese samurai. But since this game was being put into production around the time of Black Lives Matter and all that, they saw fit to, oh hey, let's put our pandering to the max here, and hey guys, hey black community, look at this game. We have a historical black figure in Japan. Ooh, give us your money. So, that's kind of what they went for, but now no one gives a flying fuck about Black Lives Matter because everyone saw what a grift it was. They raised how much money, and what did they do with it? They all bought fancy fucking mansions. All that talk about giving back to the black community, they did nothing. They got themselves fancy mansions. So no one gives a flying crap about them anymore. A black character to lead a Japanese game? I know I'm not alone when I say this wasn't the smartest game decision. I mean, fans everywhere have been struggling for years for an Assassin's Creed game. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the places people wanted the most because feudal Japan is just freaking awesome. I mean, historically not awesome, but aesthetically, it's awesome. The music, like the folklore, with the yokai and all that. It's really a cool time to set it. But it was all finally delivered. But it was clearly only by letting a DEI committee write the script instead of focusing on the easy and expected route of fantasy and stealthy ninja or samurai blending into an ancient world. We got a clunky character switching mechanic between a female ninja an outsider that Ubisoft has constantly incorrectly claimed to be a samurai, where there was no substantial evidence that Yasuke was, yeah, he was like a bodyguard. But then you have a bunch of like left-wing historians like, oh, there's sufficient evidence to show that Yasuke was in fact a samurai. And Japan is like, shut the fuck up. They're like, no, Yasuke was not a fucking samurai. Like, who are you gonna trust? Some fucking left-wing nut with Kool-Aid in their hair claiming to be a historian? Or Japan, that has all this shit documented? I think I'm gonna go with Japan, that has all this crap documented. It's like with Cleopatra, when they were trying to say that she was black. Egypt itself, they were like, no, she wasn't. Can you please stop this? Can you stop this madness? Ancient texts and hieroglyphs and all this crap that was back, she wasn't black. Why are you trying to make one of our most renowned pharaohs black? She wasn't even from Egypt. But it's just like, Japan, just like they're like, fuck you. Doing a bow and be like, please stop. But yeah, who are you gonna trust more? Some Kool-Aid hair historian or Japan? Like, nothing Ubisoft did was even accurate. Even after the game comes out, like historical inaccuracies, basic stereotypes. Not to mention the voice acting was terrible. Shiitake. So, who are you gonna trust? A bunch of French people or Japan? I'm just saying. People, neither of whom truly feel like actual assassins. It came across as just simply a corporate box-checking disguise as creative direction, and the ensuing result was a disjointed mess that nobody is excited to keep playing. Speaking on personal experience. All right, so JT put about 8 hours in the game. How long was the game? It wasn't terrible as far as adventure games go, but it didn't hook me at all. Terrible voice acting. It's been raining all day, you know how it is when it rains. You just get super tired for no reason. Terrible voice acting. Shiitake. Recycled gameplay loops and boring storyline cutscenes that felt tacked on instead of an actual well-written narrative to make me want to find out more. To be honest, I just didn't care to pick up the game again once other better games appeared, like Schedule 1 and Expedition 33. In the highly competitive field of the gaming these days, it just didn't stack up. Yeah, and that's the problem. I mean, not only does it have to separate itself from what's out there already, like the same genre, there's just, even if it's not the same genre, there's just games that other games that people would rather play. So you really have to nowadays, especially if you're going to be spending $800 million, you need to make sure your game is going above and beyond. Like I've said this before, when a guy plays, he wants to have that game. He's so awesome that it blows his fucking balls off. Girls want to be worried about becoming impregnated by how awesome the game is. That's what they want. They don't want some mediocre, subpar crap product that they have to pay $70 for, and they play for like a few hours and they're like, do I really want to continue playing this? I mean, it looks nice, and that's really most what people say. It's just like, it looks nice. But looking nice doesn't make a game. Look at all the indie games that come out that have the same graphics as like NES games and stuff like that, and they far exceed anything that Assassin's Creed Shadows has done. Graphics don't make a game. But when you have crappy controls, bugs galore, terrible game design, terrible story writing, terrible characters, no amount of, oh, look, it looks pretty, no amount of that is going to save it. The online backlash isn't limited to myself either. It has been relentless nearly across the board. Fans have been memeing the collapse, mocking Ubisoft's silent. What am I so far down for? or far up. Silence on sales figures, or some could even call it lies. Stretching the truth, mentioning players engaged over actual sales numbers, and pointing out the irony that Shadows, despite its bloated marketing, can't even beat games that have already 100 completed years ago. Yeah, that people have already completed 100% completed years ago. Steam forums, Reddit, and even Ubisoft's own community spaces are full of players abandoning Shadows and reinstalling titles like Black Flag and Origins instead. Most have agreed that older AC games are just superior in every way. Yeah. Again, Ubisoft used to be a titan of the gaming industry. Like, if you saw Ubisoft's name on a game, you knew it was going to be good. Nowadays, it's like, okay. It's a shame, and it's not just Ubisoft. It's, EA, Activision, Activision Blizzard, Bethesda, BioWare, all these great these like I said, titans of the gaming industry. Nope, they're just shells of what they used to be, because they're all sacrificing good gameplay and good storytelling for crap that doesn't actually matter, crap that normal people don't give a crap about. So, but hey, if their pandering and all that gets that 0.1% or whatever to play, whatever. Yeah, sure, you're alienating your entire fan base, but hey, as long as the pandering works, may not make you money, but at least the people that you want to play are playing it, right? Most have agreed. Blah, 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 for those claiming it's on Ubi Connect, that excuse doesn't hold. Yeah. It also doesn't help that I've been waking up at like 5 o'clock in the morning for no reason. Even Ghost of Tsushima, PlayStation exclusive from all the way back in 2020. The old days of 2020, back when we were still smacking rocks together and we hadn't created fire yet. Trending higher in conversation and interest. To be frank, don't call me Frank. That game is incredible, and I don't have enough good things to say about it. The fact is, so many people still never got GOT or Ghost of Tsushima and tried Assassin's Creed Shadows instead is heartbreaking. I'm hopeful I can use this opportunity to give those a nudge and now give it a shot if they hadn't before, or I'll give it a shot if they hadn't before. Hell, go revisit it if it's been a long time. The game holds up. I mean, of course, there's no reason why it wouldn't. It's not that old of a game, a 4-year-old game. Now, playing, like, I'm playing through Twilight Princess again. Twilight Princess was 2006. That game still holds up incredibly well. But saying a game is like, oh, a game from 4 years ago holds up well. Of course it's going to hold up well. Of course it's going to hold up well. Or, like, go back and play, like, Ocarina of Time or Banjo-Kazooie or Super Mario 64. And, like, play, like, Final Fantasy 7. The graphics may not be great, but the game holds up. Like, these are games that people consider nostalgic and, like, they're comfort games. Like me, I love to go back and play Chrono Cross. People might say it's not as good as Chrono Trigger, but, it's a different system, and since they were able to do the whole 3D thing, obviously the story or the gameplay is going to have to change. But Chrono Cross, still one of the best games on the PlayStation. And for me, it holds up extremely well. Despite the fact that no one gives it a fair chance. They're like, it's not Chrono Cross. It's not Chrono Trigger, and they messed it up. And things got different when they switched to 3D, guys. Sorry to say. This moment here should be a wake-up call to all the new sauce. Yeah, good luck with that. But they've proven time after time that they don't learn from their mistakes, and they never will. It's beyond embarrassing, but nothing new these days for them. The insistence on pushing ideology over immersive gameplay has alienated the very fan base that made Assassin's Creed a household name. But hey, as long as you get that 0.01% people to play, right? Who cares about the other percentage? The game's not for them. The numbers speak for themselves, and Shadows here is shaping up to be most wonderful holiday. Not your normal average every day. The very first Christmas to me. It's like, wow, John, haven't heard that freaking the SpongeBob Christmas song in a while. I know, right? Shadows here is shaping up to be the most expensive PR disaster in franchise history. Can't say fans and gamers alike didn't try and warn them. Yeah, but we just get called phobes and isms. All I can say to Ubisoft is, ha ha. I think their investors are already beginning to revolt with Tencent, the Tencent deal. But I mean, it's not that big of a deal, honestly, with them being outdone by a game that's 7 years old, but because the numbers really aren't that big. Now, if people were going back and it was like 100,000, then yeah, that'd be good. Or 20K or something like that. But I mean, it's not that much. It's not that much. It's not that big, just like my Wii Wii. But the fact that people would rather go back and play the old games rather than the new stuff. But sure, keep telling me that people are enjoying the new stuff. When people are looking on Steam for games that are like more nostalgia based, games, indie games that, lean towards like more like Nintendo 64 graphics or stuff in the style of like Metroid, where it's just like one big map and you have like it's a maze and all that. When people start leaning towards that more than these AAA games, what's that saying about the game industry? But sure, keep telling us that these games are popular. That's why indie games are thriving right now, because people are tired of this crap. Like I've got it. I can't remember if I I didn't uninstall it. I think I just got rid of the thumbnail for it. Or not the thumbnail, the icon for it. Let me see. Yeah, I think because I'm like, oh, well. Yeah, I think I did. It's on Steam. But it's a game. It's basically in the style of Zelda 64 or Zelda 64, Ocarina of Time. Same kind of art style, same kind of layout and gameplay and all that. It's really, really fun. What's it? Cat Quest is a really fun one. So fun that there's 3 games. Shovel Knight, people love Shovel Knight. Undertale. Hollow Knight, really good one. People are still waiting for Silk Song to come out whenever the hell that's gonna come out. Stuff like that. And there's a reason why they're so popular, because it's giving players a good experience. People don't care about the graphics. You can have the best graphics in the world. It doesn't make a good game. Look at Hollow Knight. Everything is hand drawn. It's beautiful, but it's not like, oh my god, it's so hyper realistic. No, it doesn't need to be. Or Undertale, same thing. Is it realistic looking? Nope. Is it a good game with a good story? Yeah. Gee, I wonder why people keep playing it. Or Deltarune. The basic sequel to it. Why do you think people were playing that over this crap? Because graphics don't make a game. So, if people want to keep trying to gaslight everyone to thinking that these AAA games are successful, go ahead. No one fucking believes you anymore. The writing's on the wall. The numbers are out. So you can sit there and say, oh, well, I like the game. Okay, great. I'm glad you like it, but it doesn't make the game popular. If you want to make the game popular and successful, go out and buy like 100,000 more copies. Then the game will be successful. But you saying that, oh, well, I enjoyed the game and you're just a bunch of foes, isn't that? Thank you for proving our point, though, that you guys can't do it without resorting to phobes and isms. But you liking the game doesn't make it a success. having special, fancy looking graphics. The same thing they said about Dragon Age to Felguard. Oh, it looks nice. Okay, the game sucks though. It sucks and it didn't sell. So I'm glad you got a nice, good looking game. But how's the gameplay? How are the controls? How are the characters? How's the story? They all suck. But hey, at least it looks nice. Same thing with Assassin's Creed. They have all the bad crap that you want in a game, to be good, controls, no bugs, gameplay, story, character development, all that sucks. But hey, at least it looks nice. Anyway, that's gonna do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.